In this series, we're discussing what our digital marketing agency, known as Viral Solutions, has witnessed over the years when it comes to mistakes made by businesses that have an e-commerce presence. So far in this series, we've written about buyer personas, written strategic plans, understanding buyer decisions, things like that. In this article, we're moving on to perceived value, value proposition, unique selling proposition. Wikipedia defines a value proposition as a promise of value to be delivered, communicated, and acknowledged. It is also a belief from the customer of how value, in other words, a benefit, will be delivered, experienced, and acquired. A value proposition can apply to an entire organization, parts thereof, customer accounts, products, services. Creating a value proposition is part of a business strategy. Kaplan and Norton say strategy is based on a differentiated customer value proposition. Satisfying customers is the source of sustainable value creation. Those of us who have an e-commerce platform have some sort of product or service we offer to a given targeted prospective customer. Ultimately, we're hoping that this customer will make an online transaction that's profitable for both parties and that everyone is satisfied. So what's the problem? Well, in reality, it's just not that simple. You see, a value proposition is the difference between people reading and absorbing your offer as it relates to their need versus hitting the back button. So, value proposition isn't just from you, the business owner's perspective. Value is also from the person visiting your site, your product, your service, judging all kinds of normal factors, and then either buying or leaving. It's a perceived value. Poor value propositions are one of the most common shortcomings of many e-commerce websites. The less your company is known, the smaller your website traffic is, the better your value proposition needs to be. Here's the common mistakes with value propositions. Website visitors, you got to realize they're bombarded with similar offers, unsubstantiated hype, and things that are just flat oversold. This is why they hit many websites for a few seconds and leave. The most important item on your site is not about you. It's about your value to your potential customer. Your value proposition can be your word, your promise, your deliverable, your commitment, your specific benefit, your solution to their problem. Your proposition is not about your talent, your experience, or your brand. I'm sorry, but people don't care about you until after they buy. Never forget, your competitors can prove that by drawing them in with a simple Google search. In other words, you may have the best product and service, but if somebody's found before you are, they might get it before you do. Most e-commerce businesses get caught up in price wars, product or service deliverable comparisons. Your e-commerce prospective customer is considering many options before they decide to go do business with you. So concentrate on what makes you stand out and different from the millions of sites that compete with you. Now, armed with all this information, there's one mistake e-commerce businesses make with their value proposition. They evaluate value based on cost of delivery, desired revenue goals, greed, profit margin. Yes, you need to be profitable. Yes, I'm not saying greed is wrong. When you're trying to grow a company, you need profits to grow, to hire. I get that. But no matter what price or what cost you have to have value. And these are important metrics. And you need to have such objectives listed in your business plan and monitor those. But here you got to understand that the customer has the leg up. The online customer today is who determines value. They determine value by making a very quick decision. Is the money I'm about ready to part with worth less than what I'm about to purchase? Is the prospective customer willing to pay for your offer? You can have the best idea ever, but if somebody's not willing to pay for it, you don't have a market. The most common mistake with a value proposition is falling in love with your deliverable more than your targeted buyer does. What is your ultimate goal? The reason you sell online is to ultimately improve your customer lifetime value by utilizing a method that is automated in both delivery and collection. That's why you have an e-commerce platform. You got to present your value proposition on every single page, wherever it's a major entry point, as defined by analytics and derived from testing. Because the value proposition isn't just for good looks or to appease the company leadership. Hey, good looking website page. No. It's there to maximize the conversion of the visitor to become a satisfied customer that repeats that cycle. Your goal is to have a value proposition presented in such a way that real people understand your core offer. Because a poorly written offer is one loaded with meaningless jargon. Instead, you want to communicate as if you know what the conversation is that already exists in the mind of your reader, which online you don't get to meet. If you're not sure what that is, start interviewing your customers about their decision and their process prior to studying your value proposition. So how to design and write a value proposition. It's typically text-based with a headline that grabs attention, supported by some sort of visual aid, such as maybe a hero shot or a digital image or a graphic. Creating one isn't that difficult, but they are highly criticized, mostly by people who've never done one. Now, I want you to define the end user benefit first. In a bold headline in one sentence, short and to the point. The end user benefit. Here you mention the product or targeted customer, but the most important part is the benefit they receive. And that benefit has to align with their problem that you solve. Now follow that headline with a short paragraph that explains what it is you offer, for whom you make this offer, and why it's useful to them. Keep the tone about them, not you. Now list the key benefits in greater detail in bullet point fashion. Remember, benefits sell. Features do not. Lastly, communicate with a supportive video testimonial, a product review, a product demonstration that reinforces that image, that view, that mindset, their need for your offer. Your value proposition has to contain answers to these key questions your prospective customers going to ask in their mind. What are you selling? What's the benefit of them using it? Who's this best suited for? What makes your offer unique, different, special, worth the separation of my cash in exchange for your offer? Now be clear, but be brief. Long form copy, what we call it, that's for the sales page and the SEO. It's not for your unique selling proposition or your e-commerce purchase page. Avoid the hype, avoid business jargon, avoid copy that cannot be read in less than 7 seconds. How do you know when you have the right value proposition? Testing removes the emotion from a product or service you love because it either converts or it doesn't. Run split tests. Have various landing pages, different price points, during certain time periods, on sale, off sale. Put it in different combinations of packages, combined with other offers, or by itself. Change it up. Test it. Figure out what makes the best. Those that you test, they're going to need a lot of traffic to gain enough conclusive information. Don't measure something and find it, oh yeah, this works because it converted a few times. Use heat maps. Judge clicks, conversions. Watch people's activity. Find out who left. Google AdWords or Facebook advertising a fast way to support and drive traffic to that kind of a split test. The higher the click-through rate, the lower your cost of acquisition, and the better you provide accurate data. You know you have the correct value proposition when all of these factors align and your offer is both profitable and receiving praise. Now next week we're going to talk about the common mistakes e-commerce websites make in managing their digital advertising and media investments. This is Viral Solutions. You can find us at viralsolutions.net, or you can call us at 888-816-1222.